Previously on Tales of Aslyria, after arriving in Avalon, the group heads to the Dock Tavern. They discuss their plans and what they are going to do next. This is where Ajin meets Captain Swift's informant. Hey, what can I get for you?
Yes, 4 of your finest ales, please.
We only have one kind of ale. It's not that great.
Well, then that seems like it might be your finest, doesn't it?
Sure thing. 4 ales, that's going to be 2 silver pieces.
2 silver pieces. Yes, swiftly I shall give these to you.
Okay, is there anything I can do swiftly for you?
Friend, any news on how the festival is going around here, or how any interesting news that you might have heard as you've been swiftly running about?
Are you an odd fellow?
I might perhaps be, yes.
Okay. My break's in 10 minutes. Meet me around back and we can discuss things. We then see Linus overhear parts of Ajin's conversation, but he's not made aware she's listening.
Okay, so that's what I was kind of picturing. I am going to be like the pigeon lady from Home Alone. Like very much like, I am human. I am not like threatening, but like you probably don't want to approach me, but I clearly have like a cloak on. Like I'm like very much a homely, warm woman who might live on the street.
And as you are starting to leave, you hear a conversation happening. And you notice that Ajin is talking to the bartender, the pale elf. So, you're Ajin?
I am. And your name?
My name is Eamon.
Eamon, yes. The one that our mutual friend has been telling me about.
Yeah, so, listen.
Tell me, give me some of the details here.
I still don't know exactly what they're unveiling here in the city. It definitely has something to do with the Andes. But I hear that they're keeping everything in the castle vault under extreme watch.
Under extreme watch. Do you know what kind of fortifications that they have at this point?
I have heard that the King's Vault is the most impenetrable vault in all of the land. That's the only thing I know. I know that the Everetts had something to do with its design and making sure that it is fortified, but that is the only thing I know.
How serendipitous. We made friends with the Everetts just this afternoon.
Why are you offering so much information?
He's our buddy.
All right, well, if I was you, I would start there. If you are really good friends with them, you might be able to get some intel into that vault.
Do we have anybody on the inside right now?
There is two workers in the castle. Jenny and Phyllis.
Phyllis. Were they your informants on what's going on with the vaults as well?
Yes, one of them is a handmaid to the prince, and then the other is she works in the kitchen. So if you are able to get into the castle, I would start there and see what they know as well.
Yes. Do you know anything about the Andes and maybe where they're being manufactured here in the city?
No. Swift told me to keep an eye out for that, but honestly, we don't know where they're coming from. Every time a shipment comes in, I have people in the docks that check, and there are no Andes coming in through the ships, but they are somehow getting into the city.
So, is there a possibility that the factories are actually here in the city?
If they are, they're not above ground, because there's nothing like that in the city.
Are there any tunnel systems that we can know that might be helpful for us?
There are, but that's exclusive to the Kingsguard. No one really gets into those.
Any other information that you have for us about this particular mission that might be helpful for us?
Keep your heads down. If I was you, I would keep up your disguises. You two are, well, you and I saw your friend. I'm assuming she's disguised as well. You two are some of the most wanted people. Yeah, you two are some of the most wanted people in the city.
Yeah, we're aware.
there have been word to not take you alive if you were caught in the city. So
shit.
Good to know. I appreciate that. That heads up. That's helpful for us.
All right.
All right.
Well, we better get out of here. I don't want to bring any attention to ourselves.
Sounds like a plan. Godspeed.
And he just walks away and heads back into the tavern. Linus then goes to find a bird to work for them and help keep tabs on Elizabeth. She finds one and has a very interesting exchange with the bird, who agrees to work for her.
I have my eye set on the raven. Yeah, so I throw some bread. Does the raven meet me in the bread throwing?
No, he just kind of cocks his head and looks confused.
Cool, that makes me want him even more. I'm going to talk to that raven.
So he cocks his head and he looks at you and he goes, "Why is this annoying woman trying to feed me bread?"
I take personal offense to that, and I can communicate with you. Sir, do you have a name?
My friends call me Edgar.
Oh, very good. Very, very, yes.
Well, what are you wanting to speak with me about?
Well, I really just, I'm not from this town. I actually, I work with animals, hence the ability to speak with them. Has helped me quite a lot. I'm actually looking for a bird who would be interested in helping with a mission, and I'd be willing to reward that bird generously.
What are you hiding?
Well, I think we're all hiding something. I could ask you the same question.
And he flies and lands over on your shoulder. I thought, you're not who you say you are.
Shoot. I will reveal my secret to you if you deem yourself worthy to be trusted. Can I trust?
How must I redeem this effort?
So the mission that I need you on is one of spying and communication. So I need to know that you will do what I ask you to do. So maybe as a way to earn my trust, will you go over to the craft jewelry area, listen to what is being said? Everyone knows that crafters are wild gossips. See if you can bring me back a story. And in return, I will reveal to you and you alone who I really am.
So he is going to fly over to the tent. He perches himself on the edge of the tent, hops down, looks over at the shopkeep. The shopkeep notices him, doesn't really pay him any mind, and he is starting to get close. She shoos him away. So he decides to take a different approach. He is going to fly up to the tree limb. He listens to the story and what's going on, and then he sees an opportunity. Okay, and perfect. He hops down and he takes a piece of jewelry off of the rack without her knowing and brings it to you.
Yes.
And
I love this.
That the shopkeep is actually sleeping with the other shopkeep across the way.
Which helps a lot with our mission.
No, but you made a loyal friend because of the jewelry.
Yes. Yes, Edgar, you went above and beyond. So I give him half a loaf of bread in tiny bite-sized pieces. I just make sure they're all edible for him. And then I am going to...
You're gonna fatten this.
I'm going to fatten the raven. And then I want to go behind, like in the corner, like between the wall and the back of a building.
Okay. Yeah. So you go over here.
Yep. And he's on my shoulder. And for a moment, I remove my hat, explain that I'm disguised because my people are being blamed for the attacks. And I know that I will not be listened to or be able to accomplish the mission. I put the hat back on and then promise to explain to him the purpose and introduce him to the rest of my squad. But we will need to return to them. What do you say, Edgar?
Doth you agree?
I reach out my finger to shake his little talon and wait.
He hops up on one of your tiefling horns before you transform. Well, this is interesting. But I do understand what it's like to be hated. Not too many people like us ravens. We are the wisest bird.
Don't I know it?
I have agreed to your terms.
And I pat my shoulder as if to say,
He hops down on your shoulder and you disguise yourself once more.
Great.
Dinesha meets Ajin and heads to the bank to speak with the Everetts, while Elchrist investigates the docks. But before doing so, he asks some deckhands for information. He doesn't learn much.
Oh, wait, one more question.
Look, buddy, we just want a break. Can you just leave us alone for a little bit?
All right. I'll leave it to your drinks. I have to walk away. I blew it, so I have to walk away.
Meanwhile, David and Sophie arrive at the bank, where they learn about the vaults and how the Everetts are wanting to hire you for a potential task. So she exits the room. She tells you a little bit about the bank. It has been here for the past 800 years and primarily runs in Bill's family. Her family has kind of upped the security aspect of the bank. So as you can see, we have the finest stonework and metalwork here in the bank. We have designed it specifically to help ward off any magic users who try to use anything to steal from us. Not that that has happened in a very long time, but we do want to protect everyone's assets. We have done a lot of investing in this technology to make sure that it is secure. And over there is the vault. You see a large golden door. It looks beautiful, but at the same time looks very kind of just normal, nothing too crazy. And she explains that we keep it open because if anyone were to try to disguise themselves and come into the vault, their disguise would instantly be gone. So we make sure to know who is going and coming from the vault at all times. At night, we do lock it, and then we have security measures in place. So everything here is deeply secured, and everything is well protected.
That's quite impressive. The wards that you're speaking of seem to be state of the art in detection. That's impressive.
Oh yes, we spare no expense on the security for the people and their privacy.
So I would love to implement something like this back at my shop. What are some of the parameters that you're using? What are some of the things that you're using so that I can get my team on something like this?
Oh well, we can't disclose that information.
Okay, I see. Yes.
It's proprietary.
Proprietary words.
Proprietary words. Well, inevitably, it is extremely impressive. Your entire building here is just gorgeous. I can tell that you've really invested a lot into the space.
Well, thank you. Now, if you both would be so kind as to step back into the room, I do have a proposition to discuss with you.
Yes,
By all means.
I am very thankful that you helped save my life on the ship. I know Bill is very grateful as well. He may not admit it, but I know he loves me.
I mean, without your brains, where would this bank be?
Exactly. And so she gives you an option. She has a gift for you for saving her life, or I would like to hire you for a special task. I understand the idea of a gift may be nice, but if you are able to complete a task for me, if it comes to that, let's just say I need some muscle to potentially collect a debt for me.
Interesting.
I see.
And should we agree to take this on, would it be upon agreement that we find out more details, or would it be at some later, unbeknownst to us time, we'll get some kind of call?
I cannot disclose the information just yet. I'm giving them an opportunity to pay the debt, and if they cannot, then I will disclose the information. But if you decline the gift and accept the request, the gift will no longer be an option. So I do want to be upfront about that. But if you accept, and the person pays their debt, I will honor the gift.
So what is the gift?
The gift would be 100 gold pieces and a spot on our wall
How incredibly generous.
What a generous offer.
Wow.
of saviors of the bank.
Saviors of the bank. Wow, what a
How
title.
much gold do I have? I have 100 gold currently. It's $1 gold.
Wait.
We haven't spent hardly any gold in this
No,
bank, so
no. Well, clearly we're going to take on this task.
we would be interested in performing a duty for you if it came down to it.
When the time comes, I will have Bill and Ted come to you and inform you.
Excellent adventure.
Indeed.
Yes, for a most excellent adventure. Where are you staying so I can make sure that they can connect with you?
We have not made accommodation arrangements as of yet, but we will be at the dinner this evening, and we can once we have gotten our accommodation settled, we can let you know there.
Okay, well, if you have not made living arrangements, you must stay at the Bluebird Hotel and Casino. It is the finest hotel in the city. Elchrist then arrives at the docks. Does learn a little bit about the prisoner, but it ends awkwardly as well. Yes, his name was Urthak Bravecaller.
Mind spelling that out for me, Jared?
Oh, what?
Urthak Braveflower? Wow, okay, so you knew who the prisoner was. Jared, why would they have included a prisoner on board the ship flying for the festival? Doesn't that seem kind of odd? I mean, the crew is just telling me about shipping a lot of the gemstones. Why would they be shipping a prisoner with them?
Well, I mean, look, as I'm sure you know, there's a tax on the Gemspires at every festival every year. So the king is trying to make sure that this year, with it being a very important one, that he makes sure that everything is buttoned up and safe. So when we found out that this Goliath knew something, we wanted to help him, and so we were transporting him.
Wow. With the king, I mean, I guess over the last 5 years on board the ship with Captain Julius, have you met many Kingsguard in your time?
Oh yeah, I mean, we travel here all the time, so we see Kingsguard pretty regularly. And nowadays, there's Kingsguard in almost every city, just helping to police and patrol up at the Andes.
Were these two Kingsguards like special? Like, why were they the only two that would have known what Urthak knew?
They were the ones that captured him.
Oh, they captured him.
Yes.
So he did not come willingly.
No.
Share the information on where the Gemspire attacks came from.
No.
Oh wow. Did Captain Julius know anything? I mean, Captain Julius might have secrets. Does he ever keep any secrets from you there?
If he keeps secrets, I wouldn't know.
Well, I mean, does he seem like a straightforward guy with you, Jared? Like, what's your relationship with Captain Julius over the last 5 years? All right, so Jared.
Yes. So I forget where we were at. Go ahead.
Sorry, you're busy looking at your one copy of the manifest. How much longer are you going to be working, or how much longer are they going to take unloading everything?
Oh, we should have everything unloaded within the hour.
In the hour? Well,
yes.
Are you meeting with Captain Julius after that? I was hoping, if I could, to treat you and Captain Julius to a drink at this nearby tavern here, just as a thank you for getting us here safely.
I mean, I would love a drink. I won't be available probably until after dinner tonight. After I finish up here, I need to go tend to my cat, and then after that, I will be meeting Julius at the Spire to go to the dinner with the king.
Oh, you guys get to go to the dinner with the king?
Yes. I know Julius. I think he mentioned this to you before you departed, but he has to inform the king of everything that's going on. But yeah, he's going to be there. I know that he's probably seeing his family right now, so he's probably a little preoccupied.
Where does Julius' family live? Never mind. Take that back.
Don't damage the relationship.
This is hard.
I think
No,
I
of
think
course.
we're looking at rapport here.
No, of course that makes sense. I didn't know you had a cat there, Jared. What's the cat's name?
Fluffy.
Fluffy the cat. A classic, but
In my head, Fluffy is a hairless cat.
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's more of a stray cat, but he likes hanging out at my place, so I just leave the window open for when I'm gone.
Well, I guess, Jared, while we wait, I mean, I'm happy to help unload or help with the process if you guys need help.
Oh no, I think we can manage. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Nope, not right now.
Okay, well, have a wonderful day, Mr. Elchrist.
Wait,
After, Elchrist then decides to head to town to meet the others, where they discuss information, but decide they need a place to stay and maybe discuss this in private. They head to a hotel and haggle for the room for a very reasonable price. You go to the desk and you see an old dwarf woman with blonde hair and blue eyes. She is in a blue, gray, and white pantsuit. Very proper and formal. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, we are fresh off a ship that brought us here for the festival, and we made great friends with Lord and Lady Everett on that ship, and they recommended your accommodations as some of the finest in the city. And so we wanted to just come and book some rooms for this evening.
Well, you are on the Twilight, I see. So we are really good friends with the Everetts. We are pretty booked. It is the festival, after all. I'm sure we can find a room. How many?
There are 4 of us, plus our friend Edgar here.
How many beds do we need?
Edgar does not need that.
three.
He's
Two's
technically,
fine.
we can do 2.
2 beds. Let me take a look here. She pulls out a. She
Oh,
pulls
that's
out.
right. No, sleep. You just plug into the corner.
She pulls out a pad looking. So we have 2 rooms available. We have one on the first floor, and we have one in the penthouse available.
The penthouse is a 1-bedroom.
No, it's a suite.
How many rooms? Or how many beds?
It's a 2-bed, 2 rooms, and it
How
has-
much for friends of the Everetts would the suite be?
you will get a 20% discount.
Ooh.
The
Sorry.
friends of the Everetts.
Please excuse our friend Elchrist here. He's still drunk. All fine.
And what is the price with that 20% discount?
Well, which would you want? Would you want the first floor room, or would you like the penthouse suite?
We would like to compare prices, please.
Okay. So for the penthouse suite, it would be 50 gold pieces for a night, and then for the first floor, it would be 10 gold pieces for the night. Okay, so just one night. You're only going to be here for one night.
Do you have any upcoming reservations in the penthouse suite that we need to be aware of?
No, I mean typically the Everetts will book it for events and stuff, but they haven't booked it yet. So if you were to book for the full 30 days, we could lock you in. For that, if you book for the full 30 days, I could give you 50% off the 30-day cost.
Which would then be the cost of 15 days? So 50 multiplied by 15?
So 750 gold pieces is what you're looking for?
Yes, and I would require 10% down.
So here's what we can do is we can pay the 75 to like do the deposit for this 30 days and then just talk to Samantha because we're having this favor to do with her. We can work this into our deal with her.
Or we could just stay on the bottom floor.
I mean, does the bottom floor have 2 beds? I was
It's
just
all got 2 beds.
Yeah, it's more just a 1-bedroom, 2-bed. hotel room.
It's a standard hotel room versus
We can
suite.
sum it for.
No, look, once we got the big private suite in the ship, I can't downgrade to a simple first floor room. No, we have to do a similar rooms on this one.
Yeah, what would it cost for us to get the first floor room for the 30 days?
So since you are friends of the Everetts and you book for the full 30 days, I would need all up front. It would be 90 gold pieces for the full 30 days.
Done.
Thank you so very much for your kindness here.
Eventually, they realize the opening ceremony is about to begin, and they head off to the castle to experience it. You guys arrive outside of the castle gate, and the clock tower starts to chime. You see a magnificent gate of gold bars and silver decoration weaving and wrapping around. Finely carved marble pillars go along the outside. The familiar blue and white banners hang from each pillar. As the sun begins to set, you feel a warmth and a calm. The light begins to sparkle through the magenta spire and casts a pink glow across the entire castle. The blue tiled roofs top sparkles in a purple hue. Footsteps approach, and you see Captain Julius Longwind with his first mate Jared. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I've been here practically my whole life, and it still makes me stop in awe. A small crowd starts to gather behind you. Some you recognize from the ship earlier. The gates begin to open. You see the gate is actually multi-layered and practically impenetrable. You hear gears turning and swirling as the gold and silver begin to separate and open. Inside, you see a beautiful courtyard, bright flowers and a grandiose fountain in the center. And approaching are 4 guards and 10 Andes, like you have never seen before, marching as trumpets blow. Once they are about 20 feet away, they stop. A small group steps out of a door. You see a young gnome man and woman, an elf with a tight man bun, and a more put-together Derek Shellstrom. The male gnome pulls out a small cajon. The girl pulls out a tambourine. The elf pulls out a black lute painted with flames. And Derek pulls out his harmonica as he counts them down. You and Dynestra both notice there is a balcony on the backside of the courtyard where the king is watching. There is no queen, at least that you see present, just the king, and he is watching. You see him smiling and enjoying the show as well. You see him enjoying seeing the reaction to this performance and the new Andes that are being displayed. But then you see his face change to a kind of stern scowl as he looks over at another balcony. They then see Gideon Black, the city's archmage, and they have a little bit of an interaction with him. A plume of purple smoke fills the center of the circle. An eruption of clapping and cheers begins as the music fades out and the band leaves the courtyard. Through the purple smoke, you see a familiar but older Gideon Black.
Oh,
Frickin' Gideon.
freaking Gideon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. He notices Elchrist and Linus and smiles and gives them both a nod of respect. Welcome to Avalon. I'm Gideon Black, the Archmage of the Circle of Mages, but I'm sure you all know that. The king and I are glad you are here, and I hear some of you had quite an interesting ride over. He eyes the young inductees. While the king would like us all to join him in the Great Hall for supper, please follow the Andes, and they will seat you. I have to greet an old friend, but again, welcome to Avalon and enjoy the festivities. He walks towards you all. What do you do?
I stand my
What
ground.
would you say?
So I kind of start moving a little bit away towards the Andes. I want to go kind of scope out the Andes at this point. So I feign being kind of just an interested spectator. So I start to kind of leave the group.
So you leave the Andes are actually leading the inductees and everybody else into the Great Hall. So are you following them?
I start to follow them. Yeah.
I think that I do as well because I don't want Gideon to sense that I'm Nessie. And so I want to, and I'm also trying to get inside. So I'm really fixated on finding Jenny and Phyllis here. So,
Because she has ADD.
so
Yeah, we've been hearing about changes over at the mage school. That's interesting. Are you working with the high mages on the curriculum there?
At this point, a guard walks up to Gideon, taps him on the shoulder, whispers something in his ear. He looks back at the two of you. Look at me, already falling behind in the schedule. Please, shall we head for the Great Hall? We can catch up over dinner.
That'd be great.
Linus, roll a perception check.
hang on, I know I should
Okay,
say.
and for Edgar?
Sure.
Yes. So Linus got a 6, but Edgar got a nat 20.
Oh wow, just Raven coming in clutch.
Crafty bird.
I'll let you in on this because Edgar noticed it, so Edgar will probably tell Linus. We'll see. Elchrist was basically in a trance, but only for a moment, like a split second. His eyes glazed over white, is what Edgar saw. Just for a moment, it was like a split second. His eyes glazed over white, and then he snapped back. Edgar also noticed that Gideon did as well.
Huh.
Elchrist also noticed that Gideon did as well, but Gideon did not notice that Elchrist did.
Edgar tells me for sure.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Because obviously you're still next to him.
Yep.
Maybe he squawks at you a little bit. Let me see. Wait, what did Edgar roll? He rolled a nat 20?
Yeah.
Edgar noticed something else.
Yeah, he did. What was it?
Edgar noticed in a dark corner of the courtyard, very dark, a hooded man lurking in the dark corner and quickly vanishing in a purple shimmer. Apparently, Linus has a secret that only her and Edgar know.
And you have a secret.
Sure. That's what marriage is about.
Secrets.
All right, so to finish this up, as you follow Gideon to the Great Hall, you enter the castle, and we, from a perspective of watching everything, see the hooded man standing atop the highest tower, holding on to a pole, reaching to see you all over the edge enter the Great Hall. He hears a familiar voice once again. He is on the right path. Continue your watch. Ensure he does not wander. As we pan down, we see you all enter the castle. The door closes behind you, and we see from the courtyard a purple shimmering glow of a portal closing as the sun sets on Avalon and fireworks illuminate the sky. Well, this is where the story continues.